Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Daily Refinement. Today's chat is going to be a little bit different. I want to talk about in the chat about what not to do, maybe something that you're doing that doesn't work and you want to share it with the group, or it can be something that's working for you. But I'm going to try to narrow down um, what works and then maybe do as close to that as possible. So I think a lot of us overcomplicate this. Trying to get to that next level really is just doing the fundamentals better. Um, so I was just looking over this yesterday, and I tried to make a list of things that I think really are important and go over them. So this is what I came up with. Um, you need to learn the eBay platform, pretty straightforward. Create a quality listing, learn how to list using sell similar, learn how to do product research, get a dedicated photography area. You either can do edited photos or non-edited photos. I recommend, if I could start over, unedited photos. Create an average daily listing habit. Make sure that you have a system for, no, step 4 is maintaining your store health. So a system to keep track of profit or loss. Understanding the traffic and performance tab, which we'll go over more in detail because people want to know why their traffic is a certain amount. Create a shipping process. Somebody had asked me, like, from start to finish, how do you do shipping? I thought it was going to be a long answer, but it's really not. And then create a customer service process. And then these processes, learn how to buy bulk, hotkeys, hiring a virtual assistant. These are things I wish I had waited longer to do, but I did processes. I documented them for people in case they want to know how to do those too. But it's not; those are not required to be really, really good at these. I think these shortcut things people think are shortcuts, but they really end up taking longer because you don't need them in the beginning. You can make a great living um, without any shortcuts. You can just list everything yourself, easily make 50 to 100 grand in 30 hours of work a week, but you do have to do all the work. Let's see. So what not to do? I would recommend not letting anybody else do the process until you know exactly how to do it. So um, in this new documentation, I put in how to hire a VA. And it's the same process as how you hire somebody. You do it, you have them do it, then you do it again, then you have them do it until they do it exactly how you do it. That's very straightforward. If you do that, your business will explode. It's awesome training people like that. So that's what I recommend what not to do. Don't train any other way than that way, in my opinion, because if you say, hey, I need photos, take photos from me, you're ruining your company. You want to do it, you want them to do photos exactly how you do photos. Then you're pouring gas on a fire and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be actually what's gonna happen, and that's what happened to everyone in this group, is you're gonna end up having more. That person is going to be so effective, you're going to have to turn it off almost. They're so good at it. But let's go with George. George, good morning. What's something that you wish you did not do, or something that's working well for you? Let's see if you can get there you are.
Good morning.
Morning.
Um, Give me the question one more time.
What's working or what's not working?
For me, are you referring in general or just to what you were just talking about?
With eBay inside of the processes.
Um, so far, it seems to be working okay for me. Yeah, mine is just conflicts with just daily life. That's where I have issues. Got a lot of projects going on, so it makes it real tough to, you know, uh, I got guys working in the backyard. I've got to watch what they're doing, so
Yep.
it's getting done the correct way, and um, just little things like that. That seems to take me away from the business, and it makes it really hard. When you've got a 9 to 5, you're doing that job. that entire time. When you're at home, it's easy to get distracted. So that's really right now the headaches that I'm having, staying on task.
I haven't had kids before a month ago,
Mm,
and it is really, really hard to try to do more than one thing.
mm-hmm.
I don't even know if you can. I think it's pretty much you have to separate it because um, as an example, like you said, if somebody was doing yard work for me, um, I might not know exactly what it is that they're doing. So I'd have to be there to figure out what it is that they're doing, at the constantly check in. It's the same with a child. You don't know what they're going to be doing. There's no planning, right? So
Right,
that makes it really hard, but you don't want that to happen at work.
right,
Like you get, and if somebody hired you to do something, you wouldn't bring your kid to go accomplish that task. You'd just knock it out and then go home. It's so interesting.
yeah. It's when you've got it's easier to when you're at home working. It's easier to schedule items, right? I've got guys that
Yeah.
come and show up just any time of day, and well, yeah, I'm flexible. Well, technically, I'm not, and that's I think my problem is like, I need to stick to like, hey, I'm free after this time, and then you can come do the work. That would probably help things and help keep me where I need to be.
Just in time in the chat says that what's working is putting in an extra hour. That's not what people want to hear. Because that sucks, right? End of the day, you've done everything. Now you got to put in an extra hour. But sometimes I think that would always work. It sucks, but it would always work in improving your store. If you spent the last hour cleaning or, George, you've had me thinking a lot about um, how to get rid of stuff quickly that you're not going to list. Because I would love to just look at an item one time, listed or gone. And actually, Frank is here. Maybe he can chat about his sorting process. Because that's Frank. How do you get rid of things? Or I mean, how do you organize the crazy amount of variety that you have? Do you have a process for when you first see it?
Yeah, so we get we do electronics, video games, cards. Now I'm emptying this lady's basement. I'm literally getting a U-Haul
Yeah.
worth of random stuff tomorrow. And basically what we do is we look through it, and it's me and someone else now who's doing this as well. I'm training them on it, and it takes him a little bit longer, but he's doing really good. And he's been here for like 2 years, or a year and a half. And he knows like everything we already do, everything we already sold, he's shipped, he's listed, he's done everything. So he has a good idea. So he goes through the stuff, and we basically ask three questions. Does this sell individually? Does it sell in a lot? Or doesn't sell, it's not worth it at all? If it sells individually, we sell it individually. If it sells in a lot, we generally use 12-12-6 boxes, which is the 0.5 cubic rate, which is the largest box you can have with cubic rate shipping. So I'm in New York. If I ship to California, it'll cost $20 roughly. So I know if I list that, even at $29.99, I'm not going to lose money with free shipping. So I do lots with free shipping. I'll like mix together lots of figures or lots just random stuff, accessories that don't really sell individually for like the Nintendo Wii, and I'll just shove them in a 12-12-6 box, put it at $29, $39.99, and they sell. Same thing with video games. Same thing with pretty much any category you can think of that has smaller items. So this is basically what we do. We just have a massive amount of 12-12-6 boxes that we sell in lots. Then we have a lot of stuff individually, and then the third thing is like, is this too big to justify? Generally, if it's larger than 12-12-6, we have like I do like doing free shipping because it sells a lot better. So I think our minimum's like, I think 59 or 79.99 it has to sell for. If it's a little bit bigger and heavier, so we can offer free shipping. So I don't have to worry about it. Even if it's going to California, it might cost us 40 or 50 bucks, but we're not going to lose money on that. And I can offer free shipping and we can move it fast. So, and then the third is we do donate a lot, but we donate a lot less since we've like really implemented this.
That's interesting. Does it sell individually? Does it sell in a lot, or so what happens if it's in category 3 and it doesn't sell?
We just donate it or throw it out.
Does
like,
it go into a pile, or how do you
we generally collect it in a location, and then once that's full enough to like a lot of stuff we just throw out, because it's like if I had a thrift store, I wouldn't even sell it for $1 in there. If it doesn't pass that thing, then we just throw it out. What I want to get and what we got to work on is a better donation system where we keep track of we keep track and of exactly what we're donating so that we can have appropriate write-offs, and also for a consignor. So I take everything from this lady in the basement, for instance. I want to be able to give her an itemized donation receipt so that she can write off $1,263 off her taxes next year because she donated 86 toys worth this amount of money. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to do that. That's a system I got to work on. It's a little time consuming, but same thing for myself. At the end of the year, I have to estimate what I donated to give to my accountant. I can't say I donated 326 t-shirts worth $2 each. You know what I mean? Like that's with photos of like the pile of it and the tax receipt that I get from the place. Like that's legit. And you can actually, every year I'm writing off, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars of donations. I'm conservatively estimating based off pictures of the entire thing in my tax receipts. But if you itemize it, you can definitely, I mean, you're saving a lot in taxes, especially now with the possible tax hike and stuff. This is like serious stuff you should consider.
I agree with that. I think that most people should make a pile or maybe either a bin or a garbage bag right by your workstation of where you sort. Put the stuff that doesn't sell into that bag. Maybe take a photo of it and then take it directly to your car at the end of the session. Like get it immediately out because you're just going to feel like awesome every day doing that. And as long as you buy less than that bag going out, then you get more space every day. And part of my reset to zero process is making sure there's nothing in my car. So I think that would, because you just got to get it out. You have to physically get it out. There's so much stuff that, especially when you start buying bulk or you start doing clear outs or closeouts like you, Frank, clearing out someone's house. I did that twice last year. And it was crazy the amount of stuff that people had. I still have some of it. That was like 18 months ago.
It gets nuts.
I need to think.
I mean, you know, the whole even like the whole like startup ideas and everything. It's like do what's not scalable manually, and then later on try to figure out a way to scale that. You know, I'm trying to like, I would love to have a clean system that can go to any house, to any storage unit, to any business, and have everything go through a system. Doesn't matter what it is. That's kind of what I'm trying to make. So I'm working towards it, and it involves software, people, systems, processes. But yeah, it's very difficult.
So Mike in the chat is saying, tell eBay and their pack of idiots to bring back finding API. It only hurts them as both affiliates and sellers benefit highly from that sales data. So I want to speak to this for a second. eBay is really close to me. I've been there a bunch of times. I don't work for eBay. eBay is like 12 separate buildings and people all over the country. It's very, to me, I don't know how the company operates. eBay Mobile, you would think that's like really important. It's not even here. It's like in Portland. Where eBay outsources everything, their API, their affiliate program, their everything is different people working independently. That's why eBay is so like clunky, because everyone is working on something different. Literally one thing affects so many different teams and they have to have 12 meetings to do anything. That's why eBay actually, it doesn't change that often. It takes like 6 to 8 months for eBay to change anything because there's so many teams and departments, and it's not one uniform team making decisions. It's a hodgepodge, and it's very confusing and very slow. It's not like us. We can make a change, and then the next day the business is different. They're confused, to say the least. There's so many people in different departments working there, and this is the craziest part ever. Everyone that started eBay is no longer there. Okay, they've aged out. All the people that started eBay, they started it 30, 40 years ago in their 30s and 40s. They don't work there anymore. Think about how weird that is. None of the people that started eBay are there anymore. The last one I think was Griff. He was employee number 6, and he hasn't really been active that long. You know? So I mean, it's crazy. eBay is, and this sounds really scary, eBay is mostly millennials. If you were to walk around the eBay campus, almost everybody there is under 40 years old. That's crazy, right? Even as a millennial myself, think about 12,000 millennials doing different things. That's what eBay is. It's ridiculous. And it's the reason why it's in 12 separate buildings is because they grew and they added a different department. eBay customer service is in Salt Lake City, where I'm from. They have really important things that are in different states. So it's just, people are saying what doesn't work. It's really hard to make a company work when people are all in different areas. Terapeak was in Canada. They bought Terapeak and moved all the people to here, to San Jose. So, I mean, everything. They spent millions of dollars changing the eBay logo. You guys remember it was the rainbow yellow, green, or yellow, blue, red logo, and they changed it now to this one flat color. They hired a separate company to do that. But I feel like, I don't know, it's just, it's hard to explain how complicated eBay is and how us as small business owners shouldn't be that complicated, because nothing would get done. It's just so big. Mariah, can you chat? Hopefully we can get her.
It's loud. Can you hear me?
Yep. What's working or what's not working?
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Okay. I was gonna say what's working or what's not working in your eBay business.
So I'm doing this injection molding until 2:30 every day. And then I go home and work on my eBay until probably 12 or 1 some nights. And I have 4 kids. But see, it's getting good because I've done my 20 listings every day and I'm getting like 7 or 8 sales a day now. It's only been probably a month.
You have 4 kids, a job, and you do eBay at night when you go home?
Yeah, they're 8 to 13. So it's crazy, but that's why I'm up so late doing it, because I refuse to not give them my attention. So when they go out, I get to work, I guess.
Wow. So I guess it is working. You're listing 20 a day and now you're starting to have regular sales. It's only been a month. I mean, you just need to stay patient, because that's already amazing results for just starting.
Yeah, I've had the store since June of last year, but I didn't really do anything with it. I bought some stuff like wholesale. Oh, Alibaba. I watched you say something about Alibaba, and I found a site called it's 1688.
Yep.
You have to translate it to English, but a lot of the people from Alibaba, most of them are getting their stuff from 1688.
Yeah, that's right. It's like okay, that's a good tip. Thank you for sharing that. Sounds good. I'll let you get back to work.
All right.
I thought.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. Wow. That makes me feel super lazy. Good job, Mariah. Brian, good morning. What's working or not working?
Good morning. I would say on a macro level, like what's working is the listing habit. Like since joining your text group, I've been at 50 a day for a decent amount of time now, and the results are showing it. So just the daily listing habit and being consistent is starting to pay off.
I love it. Being consistent always works. People in the chat, you can't opt out of managed payments. That's the future. And Restyle Secrets is right. eBay is an old house that has been remodeled 168 times. That's right. It still looks like Windows 95, actually. It's kind of ugly. It's maybe the ugliest top 100 site for sure. It's not a beautiful looking site. It's very ugly. Let's see. Anthony is saying he has a storage unit for comics and cards. So a couple of days ago, I looked at that giant comic store. They do consignment, because I was wondering how are they getting all these crazy items, but they do consignment. And that's how they were able to get the high end stuff into their store. Let's go with Christine. Christine, good morning. Your background changes every day. You're not working?
No, I am. I'm over here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm over here at my sister's house in Saxie. It's here in the Metroplex, but yeah, I'm over here. Yeah. So
what's working or not? Go ahead.
What the challenge I'm dealing with right now is, and it didn't work yesterday, is I'm having to work from here in my sister's house. So my plan was to bring my items here, draft them, go home, photo them, and then sync them together and list them. I'm going to have to be here maybe a month, coming every day. And yesterday I didn't get, by the time I got my sales packaged, customer service done, because I can't do it in the morning because I leave at 5:15, 5:30 in the morning to come here. That doesn't work. So I have to do the customer service in the evening. I brought all my shirts again here, and I'm going to draft them. I don't know how I can do it differently that makes it smoother so that I do get my listings in. My plan was only to do 15 listings, and I just didn't get them melded together. So I can do that today, and I can do all my drafts. I brought quite a few shirts, probably about 40 to draft today.
You draft them with the shirt in front of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I draft them with the shirt in front of me, and then I take them back home, photo them, and then package them, and then put them together. That was the plan.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. When you go with the items, you have the photos already?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay. That's probably what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah, take the photos first and bring the items with you and launch them. That would be, or you could take the photos and list from the photos. If you were the ones that took the photos, it's okay or better. But you reminded me of something. It's the and Robin says that if she has the picture, she can launch directly. I was thinking to myself, somebody told me, take pictures as if the person doesn't read the description, and then write the description as if they can't see the pictures. If you could do that, then it's perfect. I mean, that's hard to do, but I have seen that people buying an item without seeing the photos because they know what it is, especially if it's a model number or that's a thought. I'm sorry, Miss Christine, I muted you. Go ahead. All right.
I didn't think about the kids, and you guys hear the kids. So what I'll do then tonight when I get home is I will photo even more and then draft from that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. I gotta say goodbye to the boys.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go with Matt. Matt Reed. Matt. Good morning. What are you working on?
Yeah, I choose Matty Matt because we got Drunkyard Dog. He's the Matt.
That's right.
What was that question again, man?
What's working or not working?
What's working is I can find product anywhere, decent product. What's not working is keeping up with it. I'm debating on maybe getting a storage unit just to have a location for my listed items. I've got a pretty decent sized garage, but that's where a lot of my sorting happens. Got to keep it out of the house kind of thing. So I think that's the thing that hasn't been working, is keeping up with that. I can find the product and trying to keep up with listing it. That's the tough part. Managing my time in that area because I'm pretty busy.
Why do you have the opinion that you can find good stuff everywhere? Or why is there good stuff everywhere?
Well, with the job I have, I can go mobile.
Oh, I see.
So I can source any day of the week. I can be there before they open. I can go to estate sales. Vacation last week, I was able to hit some flea markets down south. That was pretty amazing. And decent prices. I guess the sourcing is, I haven't got into bulk yet, so let's just put it in perspective. I haven't scaled up to your guys' level yet, but at my level with my schedule, I'm able to go and find different places to source things.
Okay. I
We
love
have an
that.
Amazon warehouse in town too, so I've been trying to figure that out.
That's great. Yeah, I like that. I think if you have for you, it would just be narrowing down. That's great that you have so many different ways to get inventory in. And then eventually, I think, trying to think here. Okay. Maybe everyone should write this down. This is something I'm thinking of. In eBay, if you were going to try to make this more reliable, you would want a buyer. Actually, you would hire someone to go buy you exactly the items in your store that you want to sell. That'd be easier than you going out and buying, especially you buying like people who let me think here. If I was the buyer, I think I would be disappointed in myself. I'd want to hire someone that was like really narrow and brought in a very specific thing. So the concept of hiring a buyer, I think, is really good to mentally think about, because imagine somebody's job is to bring you the exact kind of items you want to sell each week, and they filter out all the things that don't match. So, for example, they go to the flea markets near you and determine, okay, I can get 20% of the inventory for the week here. Then we got thrift stores, they take up another 20%. And then that's kind of, they do the sorting for you. I think that's something that when you do all the buying yourself, you are the buyer. But when you're the buyer, sometimes you pick up like everything that can make a profit. I don't know. I'm just trying to think, but I was just writing down, if I were to hire a buyer, I think I'd be a lot more picky now than before. Let's see. People in the chat are talking about investing profits in the cash flow of real estate or real estate in general. Yeah, I think that's the goal for everyone in this group. Take the money from reselling, put it into something a little bit more passive, because reselling is active income. You got to go out there and get it and process it. It's not really that passive, unless, I guess, you had a buyer. If buyers are bringing you stuff, or consignment, like we were talking about earlier, if you have a system where goods come to you, that is very different. That's very scalable. Like, here's an example. Frank in the group, and I haven't done this recently, but he has done consignment for me in the past, and I sent him a box 4 or 5 months ago, and I still get a check on the first for items that keep selling. So I don't pick up electronics anymore, but if I did, I could just send them to Frank, and that's Frank's system of getting items to come to him forever. So that's something to think about. Yeah, Robin, consignment is something also that is in the 6-bit software that Mark was talking about last night. You can't do consignment without software or a system to really keep track of everything, because the second you don't pay somebody on time, or you're not going to lose that customer. You only need a few customers to make consignment huge. Let's see. Crackham has lost $1,500. The lost first class mail. That's tough. Make sure that you get it scanned. If you can get it scanned, then you're covered. But yeah, first class mail is usually less reliable than priority, but I haven't lost too many packages. Let's see. I get this question a lot, and I want to address it. I have 200 items. I sold 50. Is that good? I get a version of that pretty much every hour of every day, and it depends on what you're selling. Some items, if you had 200 amazing items that people wanted right now, and you only sold 50, then you're a horrible seller. But if you have 200 garbage items that nobody wants and you sold 50, you are an amazing, amazing goddess of a seller. So it just depends on what you have. Like, it's just impossible to tell without what kind of items are in your store. So that's why earlier in the call I talked about, I don't care what the items are in your store. I want to know, are you doing quality listings, and do you have a listing habit? Quality listings, listing habit. That's it. That determines how fast your things sell. Let's see. you'd love to know more about hiring someone, she wants to, or he or she just wants to source and take pictures. Hiring someone is really, really straightforward. Like, and I said it in the beginning of the group. You do it, they do it exactly how you do it. You do it, they do exactly how you do it. And then you walk away and they continue to do it exactly how you did it. That is how you hire someone. That's what solved George's headache with somebody in the backyard. Being able to say, okay, I want these bricks laid this way. You do it. Okay, I'll lay the next brick. And then do that over and over again, then leave and come back and there's a garden. That would be how you, in theory, do it. Let's see. Let's go with Patty. Patty, good morning. What's working? What's not working?
Not working in the beginning when I first started eBay was not doing the product research and I knew some things because I'd been thrifting and flipping stuff locally on Facebook, but not kind of taking eBay seriously, but really just doing the research on brands. And sorry, just sold something.
I love it.
Not doing the research on brands. So I've kind of spent more time doing that, trying to narrow it down. Also trying to find things. So you can find the brands that sell, but they might sit for a while. So I'm also trying to find the ones that, maybe they don't have like as high of a, return that I was looking for, but they would sell like consistently, like every day.
So more product research.
Yeah, definitely more product research. It has helped a lot. So narrowing down what you're buying and obviously narrowing down your category. So that's helped a lot. And also just spreading the word because, Sunday I got a text from my neighbor and she was like, hey, I'm helping my son clean out his closet. Do you want all of his clothes? I was like, yeah, absolutely. And she came over and literally probably like brand new pairs of Levi's that were still in the package that he just never wore. And I think I have half of the buckle store now in my basement. Oh, and a pair of Harley Davidson boots that he never wore. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
I'm so surprised at how many things you find that are not used. Like worn one time. It's amazing. There's so someone in the chat is asking about new tags. So I just bought 3 pallets on Monday. 1 pallet of pre-owned women's plus size, 1 pallet of pre-owned men, and 1 pallet of new with tags Target pulls. And I just realized, why did I buy the new with tags Target pulls? Because everyone's going to be buying the exact same pallet. I got tempted because it was really cheap. But now I'm thinking, okay, this might be a really crappy pallet because it's new with tags and I have to compete with everybody else getting the same exact pallet, so that happens when you buy closeouts. So luckily with clothing, it serves a specific purpose. So like a polo will still sell for a certain amount, but I just realized when you're selling new with tags, you're competing against every single person who has the exact same one. With a pre-owned item, you're not. That pair of Harley Davidson boots, it's probably not more than 5 of those on eBay. If it's been worn once. If it's brand new, there might be 10 exactly the same ones.
Yeah. I went to the flea market on Sunday. It's only like the second weekend it's been open. And I was surprised there's not a whole lot of clothing resellers. There was one guy who had amazing stuff, but he should just be selling it on eBay because I walked up and I was like, how much do you want for this? He's like $80. And I was like, yeah, you're at a flea market. I was like, I would have bought everything that he had because it was all stuff that we basically sell on eBay, but I'm not paying $80, a shirt.
I see those people at the flea and I don't understand the ones that sell full retail at the flea.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, so this is really, I don't know if this is telling or not. There's a vintage men's dealer at my flea market. Amazing. Everything is like rare, over $100. It's amazing. Hand curated, beautiful store. And it's probably 400 pieces on beautiful racks. And I never see anyone there. right? Because it's so expensive. It's like $180. He has like a vintage Carhartt for like $800, like right in the front. So then I noticed starting a couple of weeks ago, he now has a bargain rack on the very end. And this is so funny to me that he added that. Like he gave up on the only premium super high-end home run stuff that probably doesn't sell.
Yeah, I mean, you can, this flea market, there was more lawn equipment, fresh fruits and vegetables,
Yep.
like nuts and mechanical stuff. And then everybody else, I think, was selling like the Target pallets.
Yeah.
Where you were saying sorry, I had to relate with your Target pallet thing.
That's right.
I walked up to a table and it was all, women's Target shelf fulls of t-shirts, and they were selling them for, $2 a piece.
That's right.
So I bought a new white t-shirt for $2, but I didn't want to buy their, to sell it.
Yeah. So Target and Walmart, it sells like, it's, obviously Target and Walmart probably in the top 10 clothing sellers in America, but they can't sell it online. That's telling, right? They don't sell it. They sell it in person. So they're the kings. Let's go with Christine. Christine, can you chat? You're at home today, or you're in a different room. What's working or not working?
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
What's working or not working? You're a busy lady also.
What's that?
You're a busy lady also.
Yeah. For me right now, I'm trying this week to work on organizing all of my inventory because I have more than I expected now. So everything I had originally put, like, this bin is tops and this bin is pants, but now I have too much and it's more than one bin. So I need to actually like start an inventory system. So I'm not going through 3 bins to find, one thing. So that's what I'm working on right now.
I put the basics of an inventory system in the document, and a lot of people have asked about that. So let us know how that goes, because I want that's going to, especially when you start getting, if this group does its job and you guys get better at everything, you'll run out of space. Everyone will run out of space because your processes will get really good, and there has to be a solution to fixing that.
Sorry, Christine, I would say absolutely have a good inventory system, because the reason I can't get top seller is because I did not have a good inventory system. I wasn't putting the effort in basically that I should have. And I had to cancel orders because I couldn't find things. And eBay, I've called eBay, I don't know how many times, and they said basically I have to wait a year. So I keep getting power seller, but I can't get top seller until October.
That is so brutal.
Yeah. So like power seller, but no top seller, so I don't get that 10% discount.
Okay.
It's almost worth sending them the wrong item. I don't recommend that, but it's almost worth it, so you don't fall into that. Items canceled from being out of stock. And then also, I want to encourage everyone to do enough volume that you switch to the monthly scale or the quarterly scale, because being evaluated once a year is way too brutal. You want to have I can't remember, is it 90 days or 30 days for?
Oh no, I get evaluated every 30 days, but that those orders that I had to cancel don't go away for a year. Like they won't take it off my account for a year.
Let's see. Yeah. It shouldn't last a year if you're doing volume. I think it's 90 days.
Thank you. Then I'll call them.
Yeah. Let's see. Ken in the chat said that he had an 8,000 item store and he closed it due to missing items and started over at 0. That's a very humbling story. Thank you, Ken, for sharing that. So you can get 8,000 items is ridiculous. That's a lot. That's a gigantic store. And having to shut it down because of missing items is really sad. So that's something that It can happen to anybody. Born is asking if customers can see the custom SKU. They cannot. And a lot of people put the custom SKU in the title. Tons of people do that. There's nothing wrong with that, but the customer might ask you, what does A2 mean, or BW or B4? Because the customer doesn't know what that number means, but tons of large sellers do it at the end of the title. And I think if you're a seasoned eBay buyer, which a lot of people are, they know what that is. Dolly put issue with buyer's address. So you can do that. You can say there's an issue with the buyer's address, or the buyer asked to cancel, but eBay is now being more savvy with that, and they're reading through that. Some people have been getting the message, hey, please do not mark this incorrectly. So be careful on marking it for the incorrect reason. You could send them an email saying, hey, I can't find this. Would you like to cancel and get an immediate refund, or find something else in my store? And if they message you back, I would like to cancel and get an immediate refund, maybe that's going to be the seller canceled. But if an eBay person reads that, they're going to say this was miscategorized. You actually did not fulfill this because you lost it, or you didn't have it in stock. So, yeah, Christine, it's good to keep a reminder on that inventory system as it grows. Thomas, you have some feedback? What's working or not working?
Why? What's working and not working? Okay, so my sales have basically slowed right down, and the changes I've made, I've taken off promoted listings, because I've been consistent in my activity and consistent in my listing. But I've taken off promoted listings, I've taken off free shipping, and I've taken off multi-buy, where people can buy multiple items and get the same sort of shipping rate. So I've taken them three things off, and also the quality of what I'm listing at the moment is not as being as quality as the stuff I've listed before. That used to sell a lot quicker. So I think maybe I just need to be a bit more patient with this newer stock. So
wait, hold on a second, Thomas. You said you removed promoted listings, you removed free shipping, and you started listing stock that doesn't sell as well as before.
Yeah.
That I would have guessed your sales went down. That doesn't sound like a good. Why are you doing those things?
Yeah. So why am I doing that? Because it's kind of what I've got at the moment.
I see.
To list. I'm just kind of just getting it on and just trying to get it sold. I'm going over to manage payments as well, and I think that might have a role to play in things. And I've got a return. Usually, like when I have a return, I just send a refund straight away, and you deal with it straight away, and it's done. But I haven't done it this time round because a few things that I haven't got back that I've had returns on. So I know what I need to do. I need to put my promotions back on. I need to do my free shipping and just keep doing what works and putting in the store what people want. Put things in the store that people want. That's kind of what I need to do. But yeah, I'm exhausted as well. I'm pretty tired at the minute. I've working pretty hard in my day job, and then coming home, 3 kids, cooking tea, bedtimes, and cleaning the house, and then trying to. Like last night was so hard to list. I was so exhausted, and I got my listings done. And what I've done to build myself, to push myself to do it, is I've put together a why board. Yeah. So I've got this board with all the whys that I'm doing eBay, the reasons that I'm doing eBay. That Harley Davidson that I want. That house that I want, and the provision for my family, the 3 holidays a year, and I've made this whiteboard, and I just look at that whiteboard and I go, right, let's do it. Let's get on it. And that whiteboard or reward board is keeping me focused at the minute when I'm tired.
What's on your whiteboard?
Oh, well, the main thing on there is my house, because we've been renting for years, and I'd love to buy a house. Even if I don't live in that house, I'd like to buy a house, a brick and mortar house, even if not for me, for my kids, and just to have something to give to my kids when I one day die. I think they've got a little bit of something, so just provision. So a house, and for me, is my Harley Davidson or an old knucklehead or an Indian or something. For myself, I'd like to get one of them, just to retire with. Not crawling under floorboards and running pipe all day and ripping out bathrooms and hanging boilers and hanging radiators and all that manual labor stuff. You know, that's a good reason to get listing. You know, I'd rather pick up a item of clothing and list it than hang a boiler on the wall. So yeah, so that, and yeah, that's just concentrating on the why am I doing this. I find that a great motivator, actually.
That is great. Wait, before you move on, if you end up dying with an eBay store, what usually happens is people call the secondhand shop and drop, and the whole store just is gone. So leaving your kids an eBay store is very different than leaving them some stocks, money, or real estate. Very different. That's a really, really good why.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to start and get on with things, but I'm just burnt out a lot of the time. I'm just tired, and it's just hard because like my job is very, very manual labor. It's very tiring, and 90% of my job is problem solving. So it's very mentally exhausting as well. And you know, on an average day, I come home. I've got 3 kids. I've got a little baby, a 3-year-old, a toddler, and
wow,
you know, and they all need to be fed and watered and entertained, and then they need to go to bed sort of around 7. And then at 7, I'm cleaning. That my wife's exhausted. She's a teacher, so she's teaching kids all day. So she's exhausted, but she's putting the kids to bed. I'm cleaning the living room. Then I have to put all the toys away and clean the living room. And then if I want to list some stuff, then I have to set up a listing station to make that the hours that I do have to list productive enough that I can get enough on. So I have to do. Then I also have to spend some time with my wife, you know. So I'll chill out with my wife for 40 minutes. Then she'll go up to bed, and then I'll start listing till midnight. And then I'm back up again at 5:30 in the morning to do it all again. And you know, it catches up with you. But,
it does. And so Thomas, thank you for sharing all of that, because it gave me an idea. So somebody, and I wish we had more time, but I have to leave early on Wednesdays. Mike is asking, does the eBay algorithm favor sellers that list consistently? If so, what is your best guess of how it works? Okay, here we go. This is my best guess of how eBay works. eBay is a robot. Okay, so there's nobody doing anything. It's automated. So I think eBay, what it does is it gives traffic based on activity, right? So whatever you consistently do, the reason why I recommend listing every single day is because I want traffic every single day. I want them to think there's a certain amount of listings going in. So if you have to schedule listings so you can take 2 days off, that's great. Maybe if you have a job and kids, reduce your goal to 5 or 10 listings a day and do that consistently all year. 10 listings a day all year scheduled out. Maybe you do 25 on one weekend day and then 4 or 5 at night at the end of an exhausting day, but you schedule it out so it looks like it's consistent. That gives eBay an opportunity to give you a consistent flow of traffic. It does the same thing with your family. It's all based on a couple things. Something bad. This is what your spouse or kids will remember. Something bad that you did one time, they'll keep bringing it up over and over again, or what you do most of the time. Right? So that's important too. You have to balance all of it. You have to be good most of the time and reduce that heavy defect where you miss a recital when you said you were supposed to, where you're supposed to go. That's a heavy defect in the family department. So you just try to avoid the heavy defect that people remember forever, and try to be as consistent as you can. That's the same with eBay. Robin, that's some feedback.
Yeah, I just for those that are trying to do the childcare plus the listing thing.
Yeah,
sounds like that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
And Thomas with the full-time job and then the kids afterwards. I cannot emphasize enough how much of a difference it has made for me to do all my photographs once or twice a week and list from my photos. Because you don't have to set up a whole listing station then. You just need a desk or even your phone. And the little bits of time that you can find throughout the day to like whatever, go through and edit your photos if you need to. It just all takes weight off of that time block that you then have to list, where really you're going to be the most efficient if you only have to do one thing, which is list. So if you're not already doing it that way,
So
give
Robin,
it a try.
Robin, do you list from your phone or computer?
I list from my computer now, but I always used to list from my phone because I was like, I was by myself with a 1.5-year-old and a dog in a little apartment for 10 hours a day in a new town where I didn't know anybody and didn't have anybody to watch my kid ever. And then my husband would come home and like, I'd have an hour and a half to make dinner and take my photos and then try and do my listings after my son went to bed. And it was insane. It was just really mentally draining. And so I started doing all my photos on Saturdays. And then I can list from my photos, if I'm stuck in the car.
Robin, we lost you. I wonder if it's possible for parents to have their laptop with them. Can you bust out your laptop if you have the photos on your desktop?
So that was what I had.
I'm sorry, Robin, you're cutting in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's because I just got to my office and my Wi-Fi kicked in.
Actually, no, I'm going to go back to what you said, which was the having photos on your phone and launching it for a lot of people is a good place to be because you can list anytime as long as you have the photos.
Yeah. So now what I do is I take all the I still take photos with my phone and I edit them with my phone because it's faster for me. And then I have Google Drive and I have only Android and Windows devices, and Google Drive works perfectly for me. As I'm editing photos, they're syncing with my Google Drive, and then I just download all of them at once. Like everything I'm gonna list, so 10 items, I download all the photos for 10 items, and then I do them, and then I go and archive them in my Google Drive, and they're gone. And so now I list from my laptop because it's faster and it's just better for my back and my neck because I'm not hunched over. But back in the day, I used to, park at the ocean while my kid was sleeping, or park in the park while he was sleeping in the car and I was doing 5 back then, do my 5 listings from my phone. But at least then if you're stuck, you can always do something. It's the next best thing to having drafts ready to go live.
Andrea does the photos on her phone, gets the photos onto her laptop and does her listings. That is, I think, the best way, other than maybe a camera, because you can take the memory card out and plug it into your computer and there's a lot less, there's less transfer time. So, if you can, that's why I'm wondering if it's possible to carry your laptop with you. I guess I'll find out as I become a parent, but could I bust out my laptop with the photos on it and quickly list? Because we're trying to save time. Listing from a computer faster than your phone every time. So you just have to get in somehow, only work with your computer, even though you are a busy parent. I know that sounds crazy because you could one hand list while feeding your baby. If you had the photos right there, you could do 2 listings.
It's a question though of like, some people are trying to go faster and some people are trying to find time. And so your goal is different. If you have, some structure, then you're trying to go faster. But if you are literally, running on no more leftover time or energy, then you need to steal pockets of time. Like if you're having your lunch break, you can edit your photos on your phone. If you're, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because like Tech was saying about how he wouldn't stay after work and talk to somebody for 15 minutes because that's 15 minutes that he's not going to get to sleep.
Yeah.
That's what editing your photos is, or whatever. So, however you can have it with you. But like when you go to the pharmacy and suddenly they're like, it's going to be 25 minutes, but don't leave or you'll lose your place in line. I'm like, all right, fine. Watch me edit my photos for tomorrow. Like, no big deal.
Yeah, that's true. If you have everything available for like something that you can do while you're idle.
Yeah, and it's just like it's just a headspace thing, you know, like, yes, it's faster to list on my computer and I do whenever I can, always. But like one day my kid wouldn't nap and he wouldn't stay asleep if I stopped the car, so I couldn't use my laptop. And I went to a school parking lot and I literally drove 4 miles an hour in circles for an hour and did my listings from my phone in an empty parking lot while I was rolling around. They called the cops on me. But you know, you do what you got to do. That's my rant. Thanks for listening.
I love it. We'll have you rant more because it's you. I can not really relate to the crazy grind of parents and job and eBay, but I think that that's something that everyone can learn from. And I do think that the skills I want to give everybody is expert listing skills. You can list really quickly with whatever method that you have. And in the shortest amount of time for whatever your business is, that's the skill we're trying to develop because everyone is different. But if you have that skill of being able to list quickly anywhere, whether that be a computer and Wi-Fi on your phone, mobile hotspot, or you're doing 100% on your phone. Yeah, it's just what somebody said in the beginning of the call, which is like an extra hour of work would tremendously improve everyone's business. But think about how hard that is after a whole day of, you end up doing what Mariah does and working till 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, sometimes getting 20 listings up because 4 kids, a job, 20 listings a day. Well, what is that? That's like, it doesn't even make sense. Wait, she's going to come on for a second, then we'll end the call. Hold on.
Okay, so at night, I do the listing during the day like her, and I edit on Photo Room. At night, I steam and take pictures of everything, and then when I get home, and I put it in its bins and polybag it, but when I get home, after they go to bed, I steam and take the new pictures. And cross-list.
That's a lot. And cross-list. Wow. I'm gonna go reevaluate my life. I'm not doing enough.
No, but I just realized that I need to replace the items that sold too.
Yeah, that's right.
So I need to find a VA, I think, just because, or just get this big enough to cover this job. Just saying it quietly.
All right. I got to roll, guys, but I will see you guys tomorrow.